You all wanted an updated version of this, so here you fucking go. Hey everyone, welcome to the ranking. Here's my ranking of the Pixar movies. Yes, about 3 years ago when I first started YouTube, during my first few months, I did a ranking of the Pixar movies from my least favorite to my favorite, and yeah, everyone enjoyed that ranking, and everyone's been wanting me to do another ranking of it, an updated version of it, because about 7 Pixar films have came out since then, and my order's probably changed and stuff, so everyone's like, when Incredibles 2 comes out, please do a ranking of the Pixar films, an updated version of it. So, here you guys go. Here's my ranking of all 20 of the Pixar films, from my least favorite to my favorite. Alright, coming in number 20 is Cars 2. No fucking shit. This movie is garbage. It's awful. It's ugly. It's stupid. It focuses on probably the shittiest character in Pixar, Mater, played by Larry the Cable Guy, that Oscar-winning actor. It's a spy movie. I don't know why it's a spy movie. I don't even know why this franchise exists. I don't understand Cars. They're talking cars. I don't get it. I don't understand the world and stuff. And the only funny jokes in these movies are like bathroom jokes, because I don't understand how they go to the bathroom, because they're cars and stuff. But I digress. Cars 2 is a stupid spy movie that tries to satirize James Bond. Yeah, and yeah, it's unfunny, it's lackluster, it's horribly written, and it's everyone's least favorite, so of course it's my least favorite. Coming in number 19 is Cars, the first Cars. A lot of people like this movie. I know over the years people have started to hate it. Good for you. Keep joining that band club. It's a bad movie. It's not good. Like, when it came out, people loved it. I'm glad people are deciding to dislike it, which is good, because it's not funny, not interesting, not creative, not inventive, and just not even really good for kids. Like, it's not like harmful or anything. It doesn't have bad messages or anything. There's just better animated films out there. It just has bad characters, horrible storytelling. It's cliched, it's predictable. There's not one thing funny or interesting about it, and yeah, all these movies suck. Coming in number 18 is Cars 3. Yes, just getting them all out of the way. Cars 3 by default is the best Cars movie, which isn't saying much. That's just like saying a pile of shit is better than a pile of vomit. They're both awful, but Cars 3 is terrible. The only thing I give it the edge is because Nathan Fillion's in it, and I give everything an edge because Nathan Fillion's in it. Just saying. It's biased, but who cares? It's my opinion. Cars 3... It went back to Lightning McQueen being the main character, which is a step up, because if I had to hear Larry the Cable Guy one more time, I'd rip my nuts off. But yeah, Cars 3 is still not funny, still not creative, still not interesting, and I still don't understand why this world is... They're all cars! I just don't get it, and yeah, hate these movies, so yeah, stop talking about them. Coming in number 17 is The Good Dinosaur. The Good Dinosaur. I was not a fan of this one. The world, some of the world building that they do, and some of the designs look gorgeous, but I couldn't stand these characters, this little caveman baby with this Brachiosaurus. I could care fucking less about this movie. It's a very childish movie. It's a bit juvenile. There's nothing like emotionally impactful or very resonant like all the other Pixar films are. It's not a good film. I know the critics didn't mind it, but I couldn't stand it. Coming in number 16 is Monsters University. Yes, let's rip off Animal House. That's a good Pixar idea, ripping off Animal House. The funny thing is, you can make a sequel to Monsters, Inc. It's not that hard. They're monsters that their world is created by the screams of children. You can make sequels to that. You can make a prequel to that. Make us, like, why does their world run like this? Like, why? Like, there could be a prequel to Monsters, Inc. But no, they don't do that. They don't explain their world, they explain the monsters. They just make a college movie, and it's legit ripping off every college movie ever made, especially Animal House. I don't want to see Mike and Sully in college, in a fraternity, competing with other fraternities. Why would I want to watch that? Like, that sounds stupid. And this movie is stupid. Coming in number 15 is Brave. Yes, this is the most Pixar movie. It's There's some good stuff, but it's not that great. It's not bad. Merida's an okay character. Animation looks nice. The beginning, first 10 minutes is good. Then her mom gets turned into a bear. I don't know why. And yeah, I couldn't get invested with any of these characters, any of this story. It's just, eh. Coming in number 14 is the most overrated Pixar film of all time, A Bug's Life. I love the story of A Bug's Life. Not the actual movie story, like the story of how they made that movie, made the movie A Bug's Life, because it came out the same year as Ants, and the creator of Bug's Life, well, created Ants, but he wanted to create A Bug's Life, but he created Ants instead. Basically, during this year, it was like a competition. What was the better bug movie, Ants or Bug's Life? The answer to that question is Ants. Ants is a better movie. Like, it's funnier, more creative, more inventive. Bug's Life is just childish and not that great, but there's some good stuff in it. The circus freaks are pretty cool. There's some good atmosphere. The flying sequences with the grasshoppers are really cool, but the main character is bland. He's very one-dimensional. He's not very relatable. There's a lot of cliches, like the liar revealed, the misunderstanding. It's not very funny either, and it's kind of boring. Like, I am bored out of my mind every time I watch Bug's Life. When I watch Ants, though, that's a very clever film. That's a very fun film. That feels like I'm watching, like, ants and stuff. Like, all the bugs and stuff are all different shapes and sizes and stuff, because most bugs are. But in this movie, they're all, like, the same size and stuff. I know that's a nitpick, but still. Just realism, goddammit. But, yeah, Bug's Life is just, it's kind of boring. It's not very funny. And I know a lot of people love it, but I think it's super, super overrated. Coming in number 13 is Monsters, Inc. I know a lot of people love this one. It's a good movie, actually. I'm gonna actually start talking positive now about Pixar. Monsters, Inc. is a good film. It's not a film I grew up with. It's not a film I watched a lot, but I did like it. I still do like it. I think Billy Crystal is really great as Mike Wazowski. I think John Goodman is super good as Sullivan. The animation on him is so super good. Steve Buscemi as Randall. Like, that is good voice acting. And even the relationship between Boo and Sully is a very touching relationship. There is some emotional scenes. And I like how the world is created and it runs on the screams and fear of children. I think that's a cool idea and a cool concept. I wish there was a little more creativity with the film. I wish there was more explaining about the world and stuff. I wish the villain, not Randall, the business villain guy, was a little more developed and fleshed out. I also wish it was a little longer, throw a little more jokes, have a little more character interactions with Boo and Sully, build more on the relationship to make it even more of an emotional impact at the ending. So yeah, there's a few little touches I think that could have improved upon the movie, but as a whole, it is a very good film. And yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's still solid. Coming in number 12 is Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 is the weakest sequel, which is still not, it's not like a bad thing. Like, Toy Story 2 is a good film with very good moments. Like, Jesse's backstory is really great. I love that there's not, like, a distinct villain in this film. Like, everyone says that the Prospector is, but honestly, he's just a desperate toy that doesn't want to go into a dark storage unit and live in darkness the rest of his life, so he's just kind of desperate. I wouldn't really call him a villain. I would just call him a survivor. And yeah, I love that he's voiced by Kelsey Grammer as well, as Sideshow Bob himself. And yeah, it's a very good movie, and it talks about like how Andy's eventually going to grow up, so why should Woody stay with him, and why does he just go to a museum and be loved by children forever and stuff. It's an interesting concept, a very interesting story. There's a lot of homages to other movies and stuff, movie references and stuff, with Buzz Lightyear and Zurg and stuff, being like Darth Vader and stuff. Very, very funny stuff. It's a really solid film. I really don't have much issues with Toy Story 2. My only issue is that it's not as good as Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 3, but as a whole, it's a very good sequel and a very good movie, so yeah. Coming in number 11 is Finding Dory. This shouldn't have worked. I'm sorry, this movie shouldn't have worked. But it did. Lo and behold, it worked. It shouldn't have worked. There never should have been a sequel to Finding Nemo. As soon as I heard Finding Dory, that sounded stupid and ridiculous. But they made it work. They talked about Dory's backstory and how she left her parents accidentally and everything. You care about Dory, you care about her parents, you care about where her story is going, you care about these side characters. And yeah, it's a good movie. And Hank is a great side character. The octopus Hank, show stealer right there. very funny. The scenes with Nemo and Marlin are all really great. The animation is gorgeous. It's a solid sequel. It really is really good. It had no reason to be good, but Pixar just put the effort into it and made it work, and yeah, I love it. Coming in number 10 is Wally. Yes, Wally. Very good film. Everyone says that the first half an hour of this film is a masterpiece and the rest is shit. That is not true. The first 30 minutes of this movie is a masterpiece, but the rest is not shit. It's just good. Yeah, it is a step down from the first 30 minutes because the first 30 minutes is no dialogue. It's just Wally on Earth, no one's there but him. He basically is cleaning up all the garbage that all the humans left for him. And then he finds a robot named Eve, and it's almost like reminiscent of Adam and Eve and stuff, and it's like this relationship they build together and stuff. And it's all no dialogue. And everyone's like, that is so brilliant, it's so good, should have just been a 30-minute short film. Yeah, it would have been amazing, but the film still does work as a whole. It does drift a little bit, and does drag a bit, and it gets a little silly, but it's still a freaking solid movie. It still has a good message. It still has very creative visuals and good storytelling. It's likable, it's cute, it's enjoyable, and I do really love this movie. And yes, it does get the big marks because the first 30 minutes is so brilliant. But yeah, I still think the film as a whole is still very good, and yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Coming in number 9 is Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo, I love this movie. I love the jokes. I love the characters. I love Dory, Nemo, Marlin, Bruce, all of them. Crush. All these characters are super good characters. Enjoyable characters. The beginning with Coral is such a very emotional scene. A really great way to begin the film. And you understand why Marlin is a very overprotective father to Nemo and stuff, because he lost all his babies and stuff. It's a very sad scene, and you understand the character, and you understand Nemo too, because he's a kid, he's going to school, he doesn't want an overbearing father. You understand all these characters. None of them come off as unlikable, or unrelatable, or just flat out despicable and piece of shit and stuff, or just one-dimensional. They're all compelling, they're all three-dimensional, they're all enjoyable to watch. And yeah, I love this movie. I think the underwater sequences are all super good. The animation is just beautiful. Andrew Stanton, the way he directed this film is amazing. The score is genius too, and it's a quotable film, it's a great film, and yeah, love it. Coming in number 8 is The Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2, I just did a whole review of it, so I really don't need to gush about this movie. I think it's a great sequel. A lot of people are saying that this is a sequel that is disappointing and stuff. We waited 14 years and we got a sequel that was just okay. I disagree. I think this is a very fun and enjoyable sequel. This is a sequel we've been waiting for, and I think it delivered all the goods. It has a decent villain. It has a pretty cliche twist, but it has a good villain. I love these characters. I love the character arcs, and I think it's a fun, enjoyable film. I just did a whole review of it, so I don't need to talk much about it, but yeah, I love Incredibles 2. Coming in number 7 is last year's Coco. Coco, super good. The songs, amazing. The characters, fantastic. The story, sad as fuck. I loved everything about this movie. I love that it's about the Mexican culture and stuff. I like that it's different like that. Everyone calls it like similar to like the Book of Life, but it's actually not. I think this is actually way better than the Book of Life and stuff. And I think it is great when they go to like the Day of the Dead world and stuff. I love the character of Miguel and his journey with Hector and stuff. It's super good, super touching. Everything about this movie is fantastic. Everyone's praised it. I've praised it. Next movie. Coming in number 6 is Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is super good. Why are we getting a Toy Story 4? I have no idea. But Toy Story 3 is a great conclusion to the Toy Story trilogy. It's dark, it's deep, it's pretty dark for a kid's film. Like the scene with the incinerator, oh, it's such a dark scene. I love the villain, Lotso Hugging Bear, played by Ned Beatty. I love the ending, it's super sad. It's basically Andy giving away his toys and playing with them one last time. I love the voice acting, Tim Allen, Tom Hanks at the A of their game right here, and yeah, again, everyone praises it, everyone loves it, I love it. Coming in number 5 is The Incredibles. The Incredibles is super good. Brad Bird, what he did with this film, magnificent. Not my favorite Brad Bird film. I'll be getting to another Brad Bird film really soon. I love that movie. My favorite is Iron Giant. I think that's his masterpiece. Iron Giant's so good. Incredibles was great. Michael Giacchino's score is fantastic. The Brad Bird's direction is amazing. The writing's fantastic. I love that they made a Pixar movie about superheroes and a superhero family and stuff. It's super great. I love the villain syndrome. I love the comedy in this movie. I love just everything about this film. It's just super great. I watched it all through my childhood, and I still watch it to this day. Incredibles 2 is a really great worthy sequel, but it can't match its predecessor. Incredibles is fantastic. Coming in number 4 is 2015's Inside Out. Inside Out isn't strictly original, but it has a great creative idea about a girl's emotions. It's the story about her emotions: disgust, anger, joy, happy, sadness, and stuff. It's a really great film. I think this is a fantastic film. I think it's the most unique Pixar film, and it is original, even though it borrows tropes from like Herman's Head and Osmosis Jones. It's still original, though, with its characters and its plot, and it's very relevant, it's very relatable to a lot of people and a lot of kids out there, and I think this is fantastic. It's a funny film, but it's very deep, it's very moving. It is even also very thought-provoking, and yeah, absolutely love this film. Easily one of Pixar's best. Coming in number 3 is Ratatouille. Yes, Ratatouille. Everyone says Incredibles is better than Ratatouille. It's almost there. Like, this movie's fantastic. I personally like Ratatouille a little dash more than Incredibles, but that's just my opinion. Most people say Incredibles, which, understandable. Incredibles is amazing, but Ratatouille's super great. I love movies about food and stuff, and about chefs and stuff. Something about that. I love movies like that. I find them great feel-good films, and I love the story about this rat who's, like, obsessed with cooking and stuff, and the way he like controls this other chef and stuff and becomes like one of the best chefs at the Gusto restaurant and stuff. It's super good. It's a really great feel-good film, and the animation is absolutely gorgeous in this film. The food is delicious. It's animated food, but I kind of want to eat it off the screen and stuff, and I love it. I love the character of Anton Ego, one of my favorite Pixar characters out there. I love the ending. I think this has the best ending to almost any Pixar film. I love the ending to this movie, and yeah, I just love this film. I find it a little underrated. I know a lot of people love this movie, but a lot of people don't love it as much as like I do and stuff, and it's a shame because it's amazing. Coming in number 2 is the first Toy Story. The first Toy Story is my favorite Toy Story movie. That's just my opinion. Everyone says Toy Story 3, which is understandable. I love that movie too, but Toy Story 1 is childhood to me. I used to come home after school and watch the VHS tape of this movie all the time. It's nostalgia. It's childhood to me. And it's also the funniest out of the 3, so that also hits home for me too. I love funny films, and this one is super funny. It's written by Joel Cohen, Joss Whedon, and John Lasseter, so 3 very talented guys, and it's super good, super well directed. I love stories about rivalries too. Stories about rivalries are really interesting, and they can be very insightful, but also be very, very funny. The way they do the rivalry of Woody and Buzz, played by Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, is just super, super funny. And yeah, I love everything about this movie, and it's one of my favorite Pixar films of all time. And my number 1 favorite Pixar movie is, everyone knows what it is, it's Up. Up is my favorite. Pete Docter, what he did with this movie is genius. Carla and Ellie's backstory is one of the greatest scenes in animated films ever. That sequence, no dialogue, just showing the lives of this marriage and Ellie's death. It's one of the best scenes in animated films. It's fantastic. And even the rest of the film, everyone says like the same thing with Wally. That sequence with Carla and Ellie is amazing. It's a masterpiece, but the rest of the film is not as good. It may not be as good, but the rest of the film is still fucking fantastic. I love these characters. It is super funny, this movie. It is really funny. Again, comedy really hits with me, and it's such a funny film, and it's a very creative film, and it builds on this friendship between Mr. Fredricksen and Russell and stuff, and these characters are super funny, like Doug and Kevin. Like, these are great, hilarious characters, and it's got a great story with a great message, and the animation is absolutely spectacular. And yeah, I've gushed about this movie before. You all know it's my favorite Pixar film of all time. So yeah, that's my ranking of all 20 Pixar films. Oh god, that took a while, but yes, I gave it to you guys. You all wanted it. Here you guys go. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this ranking? If not, give me guys a ranking of all the Pixar films in your guys' opinion from your least favorite to your favorite. Comment below, let me know. And as always for this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.